2013. Welcome to the Langston Heritage Celebration Main Stage program. Thank you to all who traveled around the United States to make this special program possible. To kick off the June 8th program, we were joined by the Honorable Eleanor Holmes Norton, Acting Superintendent Gopal Nujabale, and a representative from Mayor Vincent Gray's office proclaiming that June 8th, 2013 will forever be Langston Golf Course and Wake Robin Golf Club Day in the district. Honoring National Black Golf Hall of Fame inductees, Langston Golf Course and Wake Robin Golf Club. On behalf of the National Black Golf Hall of Fame, we first want to recognize the efforts of the Langston family for putting together a celebration that is long overdue. A special thanks to golf course specialists Louis Tate and the ladies of Wake Robin Golf Club for their decades-long commitment to Langston and the game of golf. The purpose and mission of the National Black Golf Hall of Fame is to recognize and honor the contributions of Black golfers for their skills and further to honor persons, regardless of race or ethnicity, who have done the most to promote golf in Black communities. Langston was the center of the golf world for Black players. At the same time, the Wake Robin women took advantage of this opportunity by not only playing, but increasing the number of women in the game. So, in recognition of the dedication and contributions to the game of golf, and whose excellence has brought the recognition and respect of your peers and the National Black Golf Hall of Fame, on this 8th day of June 2013, the Langston Golf Course and Wake Robin Golf Club are hereby reaffirmed as members of the National Black Golf Hall of Fame.
Golf was a game that my father loved, and he really loved and respected the individuals and the greats of the game, particularly professionals, and individuals who really made a difference early on, whether it was Jim Thorpe or Calvin Pete or Jim Dent. He loved what they did for the game. He loved what he did for the game in the sense that he really wanted to make sure it was open for everyone to play. But Langston being recognized by the Black Golf Hall of Fame as a historical site was a terrific recognition of the many great opportunities that Langston provides for Blacks to play the game, enjoy the game, and compete in the game. I've never played Langston. I'm going to have to do that. And what greater time to do that now when it's recognized by the Black Golf Hall of Fame. As you know, my dad was inducted in the Black Golf Hall of Fame, and I was too. And to be aligned with Langston and all the many other greats in that institution is terrific. Langston has a very, very special meaning, and all those individuals who played Langston have a very, very special meaning to the game of golf, particularly for Blacks. And it's wonderful to keep that tradition going and going forward. So I hope everyone's having a great time and enjoy this wonderful time to recognize a major foundation for the success of Black golf throughout this country.
Langston Golf Course was named after abolitionist, diplomat, educator, and politician John Mercer Langston. At the June 8th Langston Heritage Celebration, Dr. Judith King Kelneck, a humanities professor at United Nations International School and relative of John Mercer Langston, joined us to share her stories that have been passed down through their family and that she has researched over the past decades. John Mercer Langston had a lot of firsts in his lifetime. He helped to create and was the first dean of the law school at Howard University. He was the first president of Virginia State University, and he was the first colored Virginia representative in U.S. Congress. John Mercer Langston helped runaway slaves to escape to the north along the Ohio part of the Underground Railroad, and in 1877 became the U.S. Minister to Haiti. He died in 1897 at the age of 67 in Washington, D.C.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let's Make Some Noise, a poem written by Valeda Flewellen expressly for the National Black Golf Hall of Fame.
Forbidden fairways, uneven lies, making noise about things we despise, sending the message, just let us play, words of black golfers paving the way. Make some noise about things unfair until bigotry and prejudice are no longer there. Electrify, inspire, and promote. Echo words these authors wrote. Pete McDaniel, Charlie Sifford, Dr. Michael Johnson, Dr. Calvin Sinnett. Pen tales of golfers we must not forget. The golfers of Langston Golf Course, the ladies of Wake Robin Club made some noise, refused to be snubbed. Pushing doors open, forging the way for the son of Earl Woods to be a champion one day. Now you, make some noise by adding your name to those who support the National Black Golf Hall of Fame.
Dr. Calvin Sinnett, author of Forbidden Fairways and longtime friend of Langston, is a 2011 inductee of the National Black Golf Hall of Fame. His story of the history of Langston's opening is inspirational and includes many notable Washingtonians. When blacks returned home from World War I, they expected to be treated equally after serving their country, but upon their return, the opposite occurred. In 1919, there were more than 20 race riots, and African Americans were faced with a monumental task which required patience, determination, and a true sense of racial dynamics. Their progress was agonizingly slow, but they were determined for equal rights, which included a sufficient place for them to play golf. The Royal and Wake Robin golf clubs pursued the federal government for construction of a new golf course, which was opened in 1939. Edgar Brown was the master of ceremonies for opening day, and the first tee-off was shot by golfer Clyde Martin. Langston overcame many obstacles during its opening, but the challenges didn't cease once the course was opened. In the beginning years, there was a fire at the course, burning down one of their sheds. There was a plane crash at the course, which thankfully resulted in 0 deaths, and there was also a challenge of what to do about the Canadian geese that lived and used the golf course land as their home. In 1991, Langston was added to the National Registry of Historic Places, and Langston remains a treasured beacon of black golf history. It was a venue for 5 national tournaments held by the United Golfers Association, and is the only course in the city with water hazards. Dr. Calvin Sinnett is very confident that Langston will one day become a venue that can host a PGA event, and that its success will pay tribute to the many loyal supporters that labored over the years to preserve and enhance this national treasure. Dr. Calvin Sinnett was presented with the painting titled Dawn of Greatness in November 2009 by the Professional Golfers Association of America, in recognition of his efforts to obtain posthumous PGA membership for renowned African-American golfer William Spiller Sr. In 1948, Spiller and Theodore Rhodes applied for PGA membership, but the organization failed to act on their applications. 50 years later, Dr. Sinnett appealed to the PGA to grant posthumous membership to Spiller. Slightly more than a decade passed before the PGA Board of Directors took action to correct the injustice. In 2009, the organization bestowed posthumous membership not only to Spiller, but also to Ted Rose and John Schiffer, the first American-born golf professional. At the same time, honorary PGA membership was bestowed on former world heavyweight boxing champion and avid golfer Joe Louis. To further commemorate its 2009 decision, the PGA commissioned the African-American painter Kevin Williams to produce an appropriate artistic rendition of the 4 honorees. Dawn of Greatness pays tribute to the 4 African Americans whose contributions to the game of golf were overlooked for far too long. Dr. Calvin Sinnett has kindly donated this painting to be on display in the Langston Golf Course Clubhouse. Pete McDaniel, author of Uneven Lies, is a member of the African American Golfer Hall of Fame and the National Black Golf Hall of Fame. He is a senior writer at Golf Digest and Golf World magazine, best known for writing collaboratively with Tiger Woods. Pete McDaniel, however, believes his claim to fame is actually his time as caddy for James Black. McDaniel tells the story of when he was Black's caddy for 2 years as a young man. He remembers when James Black was going for his second straight win at the Skyview Open against Charlie Owens. Black leaned over and told McDaniel that he was about to do his devil swing, and much to McDaniel's surprise, the devil swing went up and over the trees on the fairway, made a sharp turn in the air, and bounced on the green close to the hole. James Black won that year and the next year, resulting in 3 wins in a row. Pete McDaniel continues by addressing the rough times that African American golfers went through during that time period, including not having enough money to stay in adequate hotels while on tour, and not having enough money to have sufficient meals while playing. Dr. Jeffrey Sammons serves as an advisor on historical and diversity matters to the PGA of America. He is a member of the Museum Committee of the USGA and the USGA PGA Archive Working Group. Dr. Sammons shares stories about Joe Louis, who was the heavyweight champion of the world from 1937 to 1949. He is seen as the most influential person in the promotion and support of black golf. Many believe Joe Louis's obsession with golf may have ultimately hurt his boxing career, as he often skipped boxing practice in order to golf. Clyde Martin became Joe Louis's instructor and helped him to improve his game to the point where he could play in tournaments. His first tournament at Langston brought between 2,000 and 3,000 spectators, which resulted in great marketing for Langston, as 60% of the spectators hadn't known that Langston existed before that. Eventually, Joe Louis was sponsoring black pros that wanted to play golf, and without him wouldn't have had the means to play, and he was hosting his own tournaments. He was also known to wager large sums of money against pros on the golf course. Thanks to people like Joe Louis, African American golf was becoming more and more popular in the 1950s. Susan Rosser of the USGA Museum took a large part in the USGA's exhibit entitled American Champions and Barrier Breakers, which showcased African American sports icons including Jackie Robinson, Althea Gibson, and Joe Louis, all of whom have golfed at Langston Golf Course. The USGA Museum's next exhibit seeks to celebrate the life and accomplishments of William Powell and others, their achievements in the creation of golf clubs, courses, and their important legacies to the African American society. The men and women who designed, built, and ran these golf courses, along with many of their contemporaries, overcame numerous challenges on their way to realizing equality on the green. The exhibit, presented by the USGA Museum and Arnold Palmer Center for Golf History, will feature artifacts, photographs, and video of Clearview Golf Course, Langston Golf Course, Shady Rest Golf Course, Apex Golf Course, Wake Robin Golf Club, and the Royal Golf Club. The exhibit will open in February 2014. Langston Golf Course was established thanks to the dedication and persistence of the Royal and Wake Robin Golf Clubs. They rallied and petitioned until their dream for a golf course became a reality. In 1925, the all-black Riverside Golf Club was organized to promote play on Lincoln Memorial Golf Course in Washington, D.C., which opened on June 8, 1924. Some members split from this club 6 months after its formation to organize the Citizens Golf Club, which later changed its name in 1927 to the Capital City Golf Club and in 1933 to the Royal Golf Club. With a burgeoning number of African American golfers in the city, the Royal Golf Club began advocating for expanded facilities and requested that the federal government, which operated all 5 golf courses in the city limits, construct a new 18-hole course for blacks to play. In 1927, John Langford, a prominent black architect in the city, petitioned the federal government to build the course on the new Anacostia Park. Over the next several years, African American golfers in the city and surrounding areas held rallies, attended hearings, wrote letters, and lobbied Congress and executive branch officials to build the new course in Anacostia Park. In 1934, government officials met with the black golfing community, including members of the Royal Golf Club, and agreed to build the course in Anacostia Park. The first 9 holes of Langston Golf Course were built in 1939. When it opened, the course was not in good shape and some of the greens lacked grass. The inadequate facilities at Langston led many black golfers to continue to lobby for expansion of the course. African Americans attempted to play golf at the all-white East Potomac Park Golf Course, Rock Creek Park Golf Course, and other all-white golf courses, but were usually prevented from doing so. Black golfers continued to lobby, rally, and testify in favor of an additional 9 holes at Langston, until the back 9 was constructed and opened in 1955. The Wake Robin Golf Club is the oldest women's African American golf club in the United States. They were founded by Helen Webb Harris and 12 other women in Washington, D.C. in 1937. Many of the Wake Robin members were wives of the Royals Golf Club, and the 2 clubs had very similar goals and purposes. In 1938, the Wake Robin and Royal Golf Clubs pushed the process of desegregating the public courses in Washington, D.C. by petitioning the Secretary of the Interior, Harold Ickes. Even though Langston Golf Course opened in 1939, making it the second course in Washington that people of color were allowed to play, Wake Robin and the Royals continued to petition the Secretary until public courses were desegregated in 1941. The Wake Robin Golf Club is dedicated to preserving the legacy that its founders established 76 years ago. Currently, the organization has more than 50 members consisting of working professionals, housewives, and retirees. They have active members ranging in the age from early 30s to upper 80s with a well-earned reputation for supporting and promoting golf for women.
My name is Charles Scott. I'm a member of the Postal Golf Club. I joined the golf club when I was working at the post office. I've been with them, I would say, approximately 30, 35 years. During that time, we have had lots of experience visiting other clubs and playing a lot of golf. Langston has been in the forefront because at the time, this was the only golf place for us that we could really play golf the way we wanted. And Langston has been very good to us, and we hope we'll be good to them.
Dr. John Summers, and I'm a member of the Pro Duffer. Our club organized in 1946 as a group of college students who wanted to play with other people from other areas. And they got together with a group from Philadelphia and started a tradition of having golf matches with them. And as he stated that Langston was one of the few golf courses that was available to the club, and this is what they usually organize around. And in 1989, the Pro Duffers became a national club.
I'm Leighton Carter, I'm the president of the Full Ball Golf Club.
I'm Adam Shaw, and I'm the treasurer of the Full Ball Golf Club. Well, I go back a ways, 50 years as a matter of fact. When we started up in Maryland, and we had so many fellows from Prince George's County and D.C., we decided to incorporate here in Washington, D.C. So we've been here actually since '63, and that comes to 50 years. We play here, and as a matter of fact, there was a group of seven members who created what was called an Interclub Federation of Golfers that played a significant role in Langston. Back at the time when it was about to close, we actually had a couple of people that ran the concession at the request of Mr. Brock, because he was having problems, and he said that he was going to close the course unless he could get someone to run the concession. And we ran it for about.
My name is James Jenkins. Currently, I'm the president of Tita Green Golf Club.
My name is James Dean. I am a member of Tita Green Golf Club.
I am George Reeves, the president and sergeant of arms of Tita Green Golf Club.
I'm Steve Golden, lefty. I'm the oldest active member of Tita Green Golf Club.
Tita Green Golf Club started back in 1969. We're fortunate to have one of the original founders of the club here today. That's Mr. George Reeves to my right. I think a group of about 7 guys got together, and because of the conditions of our society back in '69, decided it may be worthwhile to organize a club to promote the enjoyment of playing golf, and at the same time, we tried to build a program that would give back to the community and help promote golf among the youngsters, and give certain events to just help promote golf among the African American community. And from those humble beginnings, we've prospered and become a growing entity now. We've had a relationship with Langston since 1969. We've been through all the trials and tribulations Langston has gone through during that time. And we'd like to think that we've had a little influence in helping to keep Langston thriving and
Ron McPherson, I'm assistant tournament director of Nairobi Golf Club.
Charles Farnville, director, Nairobi Golf Club. Result of a lot of us playing a lot of golf. Here at Langston, we're basically playing on Saturday and Sunday here. And just to play golf, nothing else. And every Saturday somewhere in this area or in the metropolitan area, every Saturday. And that's basically how it started. And we always play at Langston every Sunday.
My name is Stanley Tapscott, and I'm golf director for the Monday Morning Golf Club.
My name is John Milligan, Golf Club. Well, this is about my third or fourth time around as president, and I really enjoy that I was elected to represent the group. But we have been working together. The Golf Club was actually formed in 1974. There were 12 guys who were retired, and they all played golf at Langston. And they decided, well, the good thing to do is to get a club together and be together. And they liked one another. And the game fit right in, so they said, well, that's what we want. And they got together and started playing. And they decided the best day to play is on Monday. And that is why we named Monday Morning Golf Club.
My name is Phyllis Stevenson Jenkins. I am the current president of Langston Ladies Golf Association.
I'm Pat Williams, and I'm the past treasurer of the Langston Ladies Golf Association.
I'm Irene Gaskins, and I'm the current secretary and webmaster for the Langston Golf Association.
I'm Roberta Turner. I'm a chartered member of the Langston Ladies Golf Association.
The Langston Ladies organization is a social organization that promotes fellowship. Fellowship in such a way that we do not want to have a whole lot of structure. We want to have fun. We will promote golf for women. And in doing that, we visit Langston Golf Course many times where we plan our outings. Additionally, Langston Ladies go around the Washington metropolitan area, as I stated, and promote the fellowship of golf by just visiting multiple courses. Now that we have the opportunity to do so, unlike 1930s where we didn't have a choice. Today we have a choice, so we're exercising that right by going to a variety of different golf courses. But we don't forget where we came from.
Hi, I'm Joy Wolf, the President Director of Sisters of Swing Golf Association.
And I'm Holly Tartwalker, the Vice President.
Sisters of Swing is an organization who advocates for new golfers, allowing opportunity for women to come and learn the game of golf, taking them from tee to green, offering them continuous golf skills environment. So that was the primary purpose of our program, as well as become a community base for the community, in which we have a junior golf program as well. So we're taking them from tee to green and hoping that they're going to learn to use golf as a vehicle in their lifestyle.
Basically, it's just a great opportunity for our youth and for women in general.
Okay, my name is Hattie Dorman. I'm a current member of the GJets Golf Club and a past president.
I'm Cecile Lalonde. I am the current president of the GJets Golf Club. This is my second term as president, and I have also served as the secretary and tournament director.
My name is Yvonne Jones. I am a member. I'm one of the original members of the GJet Club, and when it started, we were flogheads. And I'm working now on the hospitality committee.
Affiliated with Langston for many years, as long as I've been in the club. We've considered it our home course. We've used it for our playing with the Cure. What is it?
Rally for the Cure.
Rally for the Cure for a number of years, at least 5. Additionally, Connie Stevens is our founder, and we planted a tree at Langston in her memory. Additionally, we use Langston as our home course when we needed to use a professional handicapper. We had to use a golf course, and it was Langston Golf Course. So we have a long affiliation with Langston Golf Course.
We plan our season to include rounds of golf at Langston. We start the season with an icebreaker, which is a scramble, and we usually end our season with our memorial tournament, which we play in honor of members who have passed.
Another loyal and dedicated golf club is the Oxen Blades. Thanks to them, the Capital City Open was brought to Langston, which provided a platform for many African American golf greats, amateurs, and juniors. This brought many pro golfers and spectators from out of town to Langston. The tournament was held at Langston for several years, and although the Oxen Blades are no longer an active club, their members are still very involved at Langston in their junior programs, and you can often find many of them hanging out at the course. There are several golf greats that have played at Langston Golf Course over the years, and many that still consider Langston their home course. Today, we have James Black, Lee Elder, Calvin Pete, Chuck Thorpe, and Rafe Botts here from all over the country to share their memories of Langston Golf Course. Before we hear their in-person stories about Langston, we'll first hear from those who couldn't be with us on June 8th. Jim Dent, National Black Golf Hall of Fame, class of 1992, Ron Terry, class of 2000, and Charlie Owens, class of 1988, were unable to attend, but would like to share their favorite Langston story with you as well.
I could tell you about it. Wherever we was able to play, it was a nice golf course. But realistically, we wouldn't know a good golf course from a bad one unless we played on one of the white courses on Caddisbury. So Langston was something. It was a nice golf course to us, but as we started playing year after year, then it became hard. Typical place where they wouldn't give black people money to keep it up in good shape. But we really learned how to play golf that way, through tough golf courses. It was tough because of the condition of it. And we come all the way from New York to gamble on Langston Golf Course.
And it's just the fact that there's so many internets. When I was a junior, to go play in, those junior events. You see juniors in the Washington area playing, Baltimore area playing, and then they used to have a miniature golf course right outside the clubhouse. And at night, we would putt, on that miniature golf course, and they had some lime. I guess it was a lime drink. Everybody's drinking that lime drink.
I came nice to play in the capital city. Yep. My favorite story about Langston, I remember I don't know, he's still coming to Alabama Slim. He was a funny guy. Alabama man, they used to rob him every afternoon. He thought he was robbing them, but they were robbing him every afternoon. Every time he gets some money, he brings to Langston. And they were waiting on him every afternoon. And, you sit down there and you go back to like Horace and Pondexter, and those guys was great guys, and you really enjoy. You could go there and sit down, and they could hold coat. I mean, you listen to the story, they could tell, man, when you leave there, you be full.
Two additional golfers that are important to Langston's history and the success of African American golf are Charlie Sifford and Jim Thorpe. Sifford and Thorpe are in the National Black Golf Hall of Fame class of 1986. Charlie Sifford just celebrated his 91st birthday last week, and Jim Thorpe is currently on the Senior PGA Tour. They are both quoted in the book Par with remarks from when they were young golfers. I started caddying when I was 13 years old to make money for my family. I'd make 60 cents for 18 holes, give my mother 50 cents, and I'd take a dime for a cigar. With all the obstacles I went through, I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to play golf, and I ain't ever wanted to quit. And I would like it to be known, little Charlie Sifford was an alright guy. We never wore golf shoes till we got on the tour. We never knew what golf shoes was. Do you think Tiger Woods will ever know that we used to make golf clubs out of tobacco sticks? That we made a putter from an old dogwood tree? In 1981, in Marion, Pennsylvania, I was leading the U.S. Open, and I don't even think my wife knew this. I was absolutely dead broke. If they hadn't had food in the locker room, I couldn't have eaten. Now, it is our pleasure to introduce the golf greats that were able to join our Heritage Celebration. James Black is in the National Black Golf Hall of Fame, class of 1986. He turned pro in 1962 and joined the PGA Tour in 1965. He played in 14 events on tour. Lee Elder is in the National Black Golf Hall of Fame, class of 1986. He turned pro in 1959 and joined the PGA Tour in 1967. Elder won the 1974 Monsanto Open to become the first African American to qualify and play in the Masters. He joined the Senior Tour in 1984. Calvin Peete is in the National Black Golf Hall of Fame, class of 1986, and turned pro in 1971. He qualified for the PGA Tour in 1975. Peete won 12 times on the PGA Tour and led the tour in driving accuracy for 10 consecutive years. He joined the PGA Senior Tour in 1993. Chuck Thorpe is in the National Black Golf Hall of Fame, class of 1986. He turned pro in 1967 and joined the PGA Tour in 1962. Rafe Botts is in the National Black Golf Hall of Fame, class of 1988. He is from Washington, D.C., and won the UGA Amateur Championship in 1959 at Langston. He turned pro in 1960 and joined the PGA Tour in 1961. He moved to California to pursue golf as a profession under the direction of Charlie Sifford and Teddy Rhodes.
Great to have you here. Thank you. Let's kind of go through this thing. What does this place mean? It's something special for us, but my guess is special doesn't really get it for you guys. Who wants to start? Talk about Langston. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody's got a mic now.
What it meant to me my whole life, because I won my first golf tournament here in 1959 as a junior. And this facility was a place that every African American that played the PGA Golf Tour honed their skills. So we got to play this facility, competition against one another. And it is very important for the audience to know how important Langston have been to us. So I won here. I won the Negro National Junior here. I won the Capital City here. So this facility has been very special to me coming to DC. I always looked at DC being my home here at Langston Golf Course. So to see Lee Elder, Ray Bach, Calvin Pete, and know that we battle here, competition, hone our skills at this facility, and to go on and see them accomplish what they accomplished in golf was amazing.
I love that. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you all this question. Because of the track record of this place, and you gentlemen right here, and everybody else who has come after me, is there any other place that immediately comes to mind in the game of golf like this, where there is a greater concentration of champions and men and women who have gone on in the game to achieve and to lead? Is Langston unique? What do you think?
Oh, Michael, yes. First of all, let me say that how much I have certainly enjoyed being a part of Langston. I was the concessionaire here for over 10 years here in Langston from 1972 until 1982. So I had a chance to really see a lot of people come through at that time. My first year here in Washington, D.C. was 1963. Ted Rhodes and I came on the march from Nashville, Tennessee, here to Washington, D.C., the famous march, I Have a Dream. And I stayed here from that time because it was a place that I certainly loved because of the opportunities at that time that was presented to me and the people that I had met here that I knew that I could care about. Also, the one thing that I was so proud of was the fact that it was a golf course that had a lot of history of people that had played here well before me, the Joe Lewises. And I just want to say that there were several talks earlier about Joe Lewis and the teaching that he had before he became a great golfer. And he did become a great golfer. But I think the name of Ted Rhodes was synonymous with Joe Lewis because Ted Rhodes were the first teacher that taught Joe. I traveled with them for well over 10 years. So I know the making of what how strong Joe cared about Ted and Leonard Reed. There were so many people that was involved in Joe's life and also Ted Rhodes' life that was not mentioned earlier. And I just wanted to really set that record straight. But Washington was certainly a place that I could care about, a place that I could live and enjoy myself, and a place that I really feel that I could make a contribution to help other people. Because during the time that I was at Langston, I was in the midst of my own career on the PGA Tour. but I took the time to see that I could probably try to do something that could further enhance the game of golf for the minorities here in the District of Columbia. And I feel that I have made a great contribution here. I've made a lot of good friends here. Of course, I've made some enemies also. I think you're going to do that wherever you go in life. But that's the name of the game. I just want to say how much I enjoyed last night, being able to see Glenn Harris, whom I hadn't seen in quite some time. And we were able to reminisce about some of the things that we had talked about, and a lot of people. Of course, I'm not going to put it out there because I don't want to call any names. But I just want to say how happy I am to have been a part of the District of Columbia. I'm going back to the days of Mayor Walter Washington and this gentleman right here, whom I've known for quite some time, who were a good friend and accepted me as a friend when I first arrived here. I'm a transplant Washingtonian, but it's a place that I love and a place that I made a lot of history here in the District of Columbia because I used to do such a great battle with past Commissioner Dean Beeman. It was always the rival of Lee Elder against Dean Beeman from the Maryland area. So I'm just happy that you turned out. I'm certainly happy to see all of you and to say hello to a lot of you that I hadn't had a chance to see for quite some time. And I certainly hope that you will continue and be successful in whatever you decide to undertake, and certainly hope that your golf game will continue to improve. Thank you very much for having me. Oh, I just want to say one other thing. I certainly want to say how much I have enjoyed being affiliated with Susan Wasserman from the USGA. I was a speaker at their symposium this year, and I had a magnificent time in Williamsburg, Virginia. And I certainly want to say thank you very much, Susan, and it was a great pleasure to be a part of the USGA.
It wasn't an opportunity to go to school, but I'm just so happy to be here, and I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to come back home. This is where I caddied. This is where I learned to play golf. This is where Counselor John McDaniel said to me, Rafe, if you want to be a golf professional, you're going to have to make some sacrifices. Oh, when you're 18, you don't know anything about sacrifices. You just know that there's two pieces of bread, you want both of them, you know? and anyway, he said, if you want to be a golf pro, you're going to have to move out of this city and move to a place where you have to learn to fend for yourself. He said, because you've got great potential. Well, in golf, you learn so slowly, and it's such a hard game, that other people say, you have great potential, and it's like, yeah, but I haven't won anything yet. Well, potential, I didn't even understand potential. I knew what the word meant, but I didn't understand that it's going to take time and practice and effort and whatever. But there are people like Mr. McDaniels who led me to know that I would have to make some severe sacrifices in order to pursue the career that I had in mind. So I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today. I flew all the way from California. I live in Palm Springs, California. It's a long ways. When my mother asked me where I was going to go live, I said, I'm going to go live out where the Pacific Ocean is. That's all I knew geography-wise. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know it was 3,500 miles away. And it took 3 days to drive there. But anyway, my career as a golf pro, with Lee coming out on tour, Charlie being on tour, Lee Elder introduced me to the CEO of Philip Morris International. And the next thing I know, I was playing in the Philip Morris Invitational for 13 years. 13 years because Lee Elder told the CEO of Philip Morris, Rafe is a good player, and your corporate people will enjoy playing with him. And so many people helped me. Because when you were a black golf pro, it was hard. It was very hard. And I hear Tiger say many times on the national TV, I know what those guys went through. That's very nice that you said that, but you don't have a clue. He never had him to point the shotgun at him. He never had him to tell him, we're going to throw you in the bayou and let the alligators eat you up. There were a lot of tough times. So to become a golf professional at the time that I tried to be a golf pro, it was very, very difficult. So again, thank you for coming. Thank you for letting me share my times with you. Thank you for making it possible for me to play, because there were people like yourselves who helped me. They fed me, they gave me their money, they gave me their cars, they let me stay in their homes. When we played in Florida, if you didn't stay in somebody's house, you didn't stay. So like, there were lots and lots of tough times, but God made a way, and He provided a way for me to do it, and I did it for a long, long time. I did it for 35 to 40 years, and I thank God, and I thank you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No, thank you, sir. You've been pretty quiet down there.
Oh, am I on here?
Absolutely.
Well, you know, what can I say? I don't have the stories that these guys have because, see, I didn't come up the way that they did. You know, they was probably on the tour playing professional golf before I even picked up a golf club. So I cannot say that there's any one specific person that has really been inspirational in my career except for God. You see, I had the greatest teacher of all. I had Jesus to teach me how to play golf. I never had a golf lesson, so he was my instructor. And I want to say to all of you people, I didn't do this all by myself. I had every one of y'all with me. I felt your vibes on coming through that TV screen when I was over that little 3-foot knee knocker, you know. And I say, I cannot miss this because I got to hold up the brothers and the sisters. So no, I got a lot of support from you all, and that support that y'all gave me came through you to me through God. So I didn't do this all for myself. Yes, I have 7 kids I had to take care of sending to college. But, you know, I had to do so much for myself, but I had to do a whole lot for others. You know, as Jesus said, you know, you cast the bread upon the water and it comes back to you tenfold. So this is my way of casting the bread upon the water, is giving back to the people who has really raised you. All of y'all raised me. See, when I was growing up in Detroit and other places, you know, by ways and means, see, everybody in the neighborhood was my parents. And every brother that I meet was my brother, and every sister that I met was my sister. That's the way I grew up. So it's not like I'm here by myself. And I did not do this all by myself. I had a lot of help. I had the help of the Almighty. And that's one thing my father always told me. He said, Calvin, you're going to do great on the tour and in your endeavor, but give God the glory. So this is my opportunity to give God the glory. And thank you very much.
Gentlemen,
if I could just say
absolutely
one other thing before we finish. I think we would be remiss if we did not say thank you to Mr. Lewis Tate, the general manager here at Langston, for bringing us here and for and allowing us to be a part of this great festivity. We certainly appreciate it. As I look around the room more, I am very happy to say that I have a young man that is here, and I have to say young. His dad and I were very, very close. He traveled on many of the golf tournaments that we went to together around the area. And I'm speaking of Mr. Butch Duval. His dad was Bobby Duval, and he and I were very, very, very close. My close friends were the people that I associated with here, not the congressional people, but the postmen and the guys that ran on the train tracks and the cab drivers. These were the type of people that I associated with because I loved them. And the time that I went out in the street after them coming here and being supportive of me here at Langston Golf Course, I felt that it was my duty to go out and be a part of their world. So I just want to say thank you again for having me. And I just wanted to certainly acknowledge Mr. Tate. Thank you so very much.
Favorite Langston story? How will you remember this place?
Well, one of my favorite Langston stories for winning the Negro National Junior Championship in '59. In 2013, June the 8th, I played with my granddaughter at the same golf course. It was her first golf outing. That's a great story here at Langston with me.
That works. I think my favorite story was the fact that I had a chance to play with the great Ted Rhodes here. I met him. I traveled with him. He was my teacher, my only teacher, the only teacher that I had throughout my career. And I must say that I appreciated the fact that he took the time out of his busy schedule, because it worked, a busy schedule. I caddied for him and quite a number of the tournaments around the country, like the Detroit Open, the Tamashan in Chicago, and places of that nature. And I lived with him in St. Louis, Missouri, and also in Nashville, Tennessee. And to be able to come here and to just be a part of being able to walk down the fairway with him here, because I knew that was the only place that I would be able to walk down the fairway with him, because his name was so synonymous with all of the top players out there, like your Jimmy DeMaritt and all of your top players that was on the tour at the time. They used to call him Rags. And the reason why they called him Rag was because he changed clothes so many times during the course of a round. Not necessarily say in the major tournament, but all of the UGA tournaments, and I think a lot of you really saw him do that. Also, I know that in 65, I believe it were here when they had the national event at Potomac Park. I think he changed clothes about 5 times. So I just want to say that. Happy that I were to be a young man and in the presence of a great player like Ted Rhodes, who was just before his time. They talk about certainly Charlie have certainly been so ominous on the PGA Tour, and he did a lot of wonderful things that have helped us to become players on the PGA Tour. But they overlooked the fact that Ted Rhodes was the man that really made it possible, and made it possible for us to play on the PGA Tour.
Can we sing him happy birthday real quick? Because that's coming up, what, Sunday? Or last Sunday, Mr. Sipper? Dave Lucas. There's some folks here who would like to wish you a happy birthday. Is that all right? Hang on one sec.
Charlie, this is Cal. I just talked to you yesterday and wished you a happy belated birthday. But I just want to tell you, and I tell that story all the time, that tip you gave me at Ted Rhodes about the hands. They work. And that's why I've become such I would say, an accurate player.
Since the 1940s, Langston has been a place for local juniors to come and learn how to golf, as well as a safe and supportive community for them to grow up in. Today, we have golfers from every generation joining us in the celebration of Langston heritage. Adrian Stewart tells the story of the time he came to golf with long hair and baggy clothes. His coach, Rodney Lathern, a former Langston junior, promptly took him to the barbershop so he could look presentable on the golf course. Today, Adrian is still in the junior golf program, travels with the team, still has his short, presentable hair, and plans to continue golfing for a very long time. Currently, Langston has 3 different junior golf clubs. An all-volunteer organization, Langston Junior Boys and Girls Golf Club is located at the historic Langston Golf Course. Over 200 boys and girls participate every summer from late June through August in the junior program. Langston Juniors involves much more than just learning the mechanics of golf. Langston's volunteer instructors teach participants valuable life lessons through the game. Formed in 1990 under the nationally based Hook a Kid on Golf program, the Langston Junior Boys and Girls Club became an independent organization in 1994. Established in 1991 by Felton Mason, Mason's Army's goal is to develop and operate a junior golf training program for boys and girls between the ages of 8 and 18 years old. Mason was particularly interested in fostering economically disadvantaged minority youth in the Washington, D.C. area. Members of Mason's Army do not pay fees for training or for services rendered, and are to adhere by guidelines established by the U.S. Golf Association for junior golf programs. Mason's Army's home has been established at Langston Golf Course, where hundreds of young people have gone through this progressive program. Since 1997, the First Tee has helped shape the lives of more than 7 million young people from all walks of life by teaching them values like integrity, respect, and perseverance through the game of golf. The First Tee provides educational programs that build character and promote healthy choices. There are 5,300 elementary schools offering the First Tee National School Program. In 1999, the Washington, D.C. chapter was started at Langston Golf Course and has been so successful that they expanded to East Potomac and Rock Creek golf courses to serve hundreds of children. Today's event was made possible by the collective effort of the golf industry and our Ace, Eagle, Birdie, and Par sponsors. We appreciate your support in helping us celebrate diversity in the game. A special thank you to the Langston Heritage Committee, National Park Service, and all of our media partners. Pamela Green, President of Wake Robin Golf Club, and Lewis Tate, General Manager of Langston, would like to thank all of you for celebrating Black golf heritage by attending the Langston Heritage Celebration. Although this program is over, the celebration of Black golf continues.